morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to 2CTV, your global news channel. A huge scandal has hit both the British government and the Irish government at the same time. The mainstream media are not necessarily talking about this. The newspapers have been forced to actually report this directly to the heart of Downing Street and Keir Starmer's premiership. And, of course, there has been some reaction on social media, and the opposition obviously calling for Keir Starmer's resignation and his chief of staff. We're going to give you guys the latest update on this. We have his family connected to the people smuggling and illegal migration benefiting from that shortly. The guy you see on the left-hand side is Morgan McSweeney. He's the chief of staff to the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. He is behind he was joined initially to do a crackdown on the small boat crisis, the illegal migration wave. Then we discovered that the British government somehow is spending more time and money to crack down on those who are criticizing the government. Wonder why? Well, this has now been exposed by both the Mail on Sunday and Telegraph. Everybody's now confirmed this, that Morgan McSweeney's father, Tim McSweeney, who is an accountant in County Cork in the Republic of Ireland, he helped set up a company, not his accountancy, a different company, that received £6 million from the Irish government to house illegal migrants. So that company benefited. The evidence that we have, he incorporated this company, that you can see at the bottom of the page, in February 2023. Tim and his wife Carmel are the only directors and is registered in the same address as his accountancy firm. Now, this company leads via two other Irish shell companies, both of them linked to McSweeney, to a web of Cyprus-registered companies offshore. Now, when McSweeney was asked how he became involved, he said, this is the quote, "It's nobody's business." They received massive funds, 8.4 million euros, in order to help illegal migrants. The money came from the taxpayer, by the way, obviously. But that's not the only issue. Not necessarily Morgan or Tim, his father. The whole family seemed to be a little bit messed up, because we've discovered that Morgan McSweeney, the chief of staff to Keir Starmer, his cousin Claire, is a special advisor to the Deputy Prime Minister in Ireland, Simon Harris, and she's behind the crackdown on Irish patriots who speak out against illegal migration. Now, both in Ireland and Britain, we have had a number of new policies in terms of crackdown on those patriots, both in Britain and Ireland, who are speaking out against illegal migration. We're going to give you some new information about new measures that are being used and using technology to find out more about the protesters, let's just say. But this whole crisis continues. And as I said, the fact that this story came out, confirmed by newspapers, nobody in the broadcast media is talking about this. It's happening on Sunday. You know, slow news is not addressing the real crises, including the fact that it's now also been confirmed that 2 Afghan illegal migrants have now been charged over the alleged sexual assault and rape of a 12-year-old girl in Warwickshire. 12-year-old girl. Now, the information we have, we do have the names of the suspects. Ahmad Mulahil, who's 23, has been charged, targeting a young girl in Nottington. And a second man is Mohammed Kabir, also 23, charged with aiding and assisting this. Now, they also allegedly kidnapped the girl, who is now receiving special care. Now, again, the newspapers have been, they have no other choice but to report this. No statement, no real urgency from the government, from the Home Office, from the Ministry of Justice, nothing, absolutely nothing. Because they are hoping that, Parliament is not sitting, so we could just get away with it. The police in Warwickshire of a cover-up, again, in an effort to suppress information which the public have a right to know. According to the witness, speaking to the Mail, he said that the police feared that the cities in Warwickshire would face a similar violent protest that took place outside the migrant hotel in Epping, Essex. This was obviously a few weeks ago. Started, still ongoing. Because even in Epping, we had accusations of illegal migrants doing similar things, crimes, harassing a young girl. Having said that, the Labour government in Britain are more concerned about doing a crackdown on those who want to speak out. Everybody's far right, everybody is a thug, and the police will have to spend more time and money hunting you down to arrest you. So there's, across the UK, using a terrorist tracking software. So these tools that were created by the National Security and Online Information Team, or the NSOIT, were originally developed to hunt down terrorists. That was the point of this. But now the secretive team have been tasked to find critics of the migrant hotels. If you speak out against it, they're going to find out more information about you. They're going to be able to hunt you down because you are more of a threat to the state, to the public, than the actual foreign criminals who have crossed the border illegally. You see the problem? Having said that, the leader of the Warwickshire Council has written a letter to the Home Office, the Home Secretary, as well as the Chief Constable of Warwickshire Police. George Finch said, I am writing to you concerning the dreadful incident of the 12-year-old girl who was raped in Nuneaton on the 22nd of July, as you will know, that they have not been told the full story. Again, cover-up. Further to this, police have also obviously charged a second man, that's Mohammed Kabir, who has been accused of kidnapping, strangulation, and aiding and abetting, again, when it comes to the same 12-year-old girl. I have been informed by the CEO of the Warwickshire County Council that Mr. Kabir was all asylum seekers. The problem is, and this is not really their fault, just get them out of Warwickshire, anybody who is in frontline politics, especially obviously Reform UK Council leaders, and some of the Tories who are still relatively conservative in local councils, not the National Party, instead of just saying rehouse them in a different constituency or county, everybody should come together and basically say, not in our country, deport them, rather than rehouse them in a different area, just say deport them. I strongly believe that the only risk to public order from this case in Warwickshire comes from the cover-up itself. I actually agree. Our police have much more important things to deal with. They do not need the mass disruption to local policing which would follow from the commencement of any protests. In the interest of transparency with the public and in the interest of ensuring public order on Warwickshire streets, I urge both the Home Secretary and the Chief of Warwickshire Police to release the currently omitted details of Ahmed and Mohammed's immigration status. So, okay, once again, I agree with the protest. But the fact that he's so scared, they're all so scared, even the politicians who are still technically on the side of the people, they're all terrified of what could happen to them. So he's saying, well, I'm not even in favor of any sort of protest. Protests are fine. Peaceful democratic protests are fine. The issue continues, and today as we speak, we have a protest outside the Britannia International Hotel in Canary Wharf.
So basically, down to the point is Simon Harris's wife is stopping us all talking about migration, and the English government and the Irish government, they're both one. They come as one. And you can see there how they're all linked in because they're all related to each other. And we have to sit back and accept this shite.